In the Han Dynasty, magic was used both to create life and to vanquish ghosts. That magic was called the Seven Orders of Life and Death. When the magic leaked out of heaven and onto the earth, it caused the fury of the gods. Eventually, only one Seven Orders practitioner survived to escape his demise. Late at night, a woman in a scantily clad dress exits a cab. The perverted cab driver suggests that the woman go home with him instead of facing dangers like ghosts in the dark street. The woman pays her bill and tells the driver she will never go home with him because he is ugly. As she walks in the dark, suddenly a hand reaches behind her. She looks behind her only to find nothing. Turning her head again, she's surprised to see a man holding a lighter for her. Since it is a handsome man, the woman is not scared. She tells the man that if he wants her, he has to pay for it. She suggests going to a hotel, but the man makes his move right there and then. They start making out until the woman finds blood all over the man's shirt. The man turns into a demonic monster and attacks the woman. The next morning, the body is found by the police, surrounded by onlookers. As they investigate the site, the lead police officer, Nu, is baffled by how the body is already rotting despite seemingly only being killed not long ago. He wants to investigate further. The rookie officer, Shu, is late and is rushing to the crime scene. Nearing the site, she bumps into one of the spectators, a man named Xiao. He catches Shu before she falls. Xiao sees Shu's face and finds her cute. Shu tells him not to disrespect female officers and goes on her way. As she leaves, Xiao warns her not to get involved in the case, since biting creatures do not suit beautiful women. Shu does not think too much of it, but finds the man weird. As Shu arrives at the site, Nu reports that the victim has been bitten to death. She wonders how the man she just bumped into knew about the details of the case. Nu tells Shu that they will be investigating the murderer in the area. Since the killer only attacks women, he wants Shu to dress up like his victims to lure him out. Meanwhile, Xiao showers and thanks his friend Wang for letting him stay at the restaurant since he has nowhere else to go. Wang tells Xiao that he needs to talk to the boss about working at the restaurant. As Wang talks, he is holding a cup of tea and secretly putting aphrodisiac powder in it. He tells Xiao that after he showers, he will introduce him to the boss. Wang lusts over the boss and imagines her being taken over by the effects of the aphrodisiac, so he can make a move. His plan is foiled as Xiao drinks the cup after exiting the shower. Xiao remarks that despite just exiting the shower, he is sweating. He imagines Wang as a woman and starts getting close to him. Meanwhile, Shu is undercover, walking the night streets in scantily clad clothing and a wig. Nu and other policemen are in a surveillance truck, monitoring Shu through their screens. As she complains about how humiliating her first mission is, Shu hears the sound of a man running and goes after him. The officer in charge of monitoring Shu is distracted by his cell phone and does not notice when Shu leaves her post. Shu chases the running man to an alley, but the man disappears. She goes to the nearest door and knocks. The door opens slowly, and she is dragged inside. Meanwhile, at the police surveillance truck, Nu finally sees that Shu has disappeared from her post and runs out with other officers to find her. Back at the scene, Shu is being held by a man in a dark room. The man is covering her mouth, and Shu cannot overpower him. She is scared, remembering the gruesome crime scene she witnessed before. Suddenly, Nu and Gu kick the door down and discover Shu being held by the man. They point their light at the man's face, revealing it is the very confused Xiao, who is still under the effects of the aphrodisiac. Nu calls for backup with his walkie-talkie. Gu kicks Xiao off of Shu as Xiao wonders what just happened. Shu slaps him. Xiao and Shu realize that they have seen each other before. As Nu talks to his walkie-talkie, he hears a gunshot at the other end of the line. The officers are unconscious because they were attacked by a monster. Xiao is handcuffed to a pole by Gu. However, Xiao is still confused about what is happening. Nu orders Gu to watch Xiao while he and Shu go to the location of the missing officers. To get away from the cuffs, Xiao contemplates using a mysterious power his master told him not to use lightly. He starts to chant, but only farts. Gu comments that the murderer is an idiot. Xiao retorts that it is as if he is being framed when Shu is the one who came to the door voluntarily, all dressed up. Gu is about to hit him, but the restaurant's boss appears and takes a picture. She tells the officer that she will spread the incident on the internet, accusing him of police brutality. Suddenly, the boss starts charming Gu while negotiating for Xiao's release. Wang is so turned on that he leaves to go to the bathroom. Gu cannot take it anymore either and follows after. With the officer gone, the boss looks at Xiao, only to see that he has already escaped the handcuffs and disappeared. The boss is intrigued, realizing that he may not be just some ordinary guy. Meanwhile, a crowd has already gathered outside the building where the other officers are. As No and Shu approach the site, No tells Shu to control the crowd while he goes inside. The crowd does not take Shu's authority seriously due to the way she is dressed. Suddenly, gunshots from inside are heard and the crowd runs away. Shu goes in to investigate. She searches for No in the darkness of the building and hears his phone ringing on the floor. She picks it up, and as she presses on the phone, the camera and light turn on, revealing the unconscious officers just in front of her. Shu hears a noise and is about to fire her gun, but it turns out to be a helpless woman. The woman tells Shu that a man came after her and tried to violate her. She was knocked unconscious, and when she woke up, she saw two men fighting. She believes she saw Nu and the perpetrator. Nu's phone starts to ring, and Shu answers. She sees a demonic figure through the phone's reflection and takes action by firing her gun at the monster. The other one flees. Shu is tossed by the monster across the room and knocked unconscious. Before the monster can harm her, Xiao appears, kicking the monster's back so hard that the floor underneath is destroyed. For trying to harm Shu, Xiao threatens to kill the monster. He calls the monster a zombie and warns it not to mess with him. Xiao believes that since he was intimate with Shu before, he is now responsible for her. He remembers his master's words to not fall in love and to not get involved with demons. The zombie attacks Xiao, but he is able to hold his own in the fight due to his impressive martial arts prowess. He puts talismans on his arms, giving him enough strength to overpower the zombie. He then holds a talisman and chants to get rid of the zombie. Pointing at the zombie's forehead, he magically burns it to non-existence with a powerful blue flame. The restaurant's lady boss sees the whole fight from outside and becomes even more intrigued by Xiao. Meanwhile, Xiao sees the unconscious Shu and moves closer, nearing his lips to hers to perform CPR. Before he can touch her lips, backup police officers arrive and arrest him. He tries to explain that he rescued Shu, but no one listens. The woman Shu tried to rescue is being questioned by the police, and she sees Xiao being arrested. She remembers seeing him running when she fled the zombie. The woman tells the officer that they made a mistake by arresting Xiao. The restaurant's lady boss also vouches for Xiao, saying that she saw the entire thing and that he eliminated the real suspect. The next morning, Xiao and the boss leave the police station, ready to go home. Xiao comments that they do not seem to be walking toward the restaurant. The lady boss tells Xiao that she is actually letting him walk her to her house since her husband is on a business trip. She seductively tells the tense Xiao that it is her reward for rescuing him from arrest. She also tells him that due to all the excitement, she wants to take off her clothes once she gets home. The lady boss seduces Xiao, and he accepts her embrace. However, the embrace tightens until it becomes painful. The boss then transforms into a snake, coiling around him. It turns out it was a dream, and Xiao wakes up, dropping hot tea on his pants. At exactly the same time, the boss comes out of the bathroom wearing only a towel. Xiao tries to explain why his pants are wet, but she tells him it's only natural for young boys like him. She tells Xiao that she is going to her room and is waiting on her bed for him. Xiao goes to the bedroom, believing he is ready to face the boss. However, seeing her pose on the bed, he goes weak at the knees. She tells Xiao that she saw him do magic. Surprised, Xiao tells her that it is a matter of life and death, that she tells no one of his power. In return for her silence, she requests a massage from Xiao. He is about to touch her body, but gets too shocked by the huge picture of her and an old man hanging above the bed. He asks the lady boss if the old man is her father, but she reveals it is her husband. Xiao starts to tear up, saying that her husband reminds him too much of his dead grandfather. Meanwhile, a man is about to meet a woman he met online in a fancy restaurant. Since the woman in the pictures is so beautiful, he is very excited. He goes into the restaurant and meets a woman with sunglasses and purple hair. The mysterious woman is about to let the man take a peek at her eyes, but the waiter interrupts them. She comments that since there are too many people in the restaurant, she wants to find a more private place where she can let the man see her eyes. Later, the man parks his car on a bridge. The woman suddenly becomes aggressive and immediately kisses the man. She opens her eyes, revealing a demonic red glow. As the man is being kissed, his body begins to be sucked dry. The shaking car is captured on surveillance, but the video crashes due to the victim's body. The footage gets the attention of the police. Niu tells the other officers that there have been a series of deaths following the same pattern. The dead victim's body is taken to the police station, where Niu and the others are gathered. Niu informs everyone that he has hired a professional to help with the case and perform the autopsy. Shu tries to touch the body, but to her shock, the body rises before she can touch it. A man comes into the room, explaining that the body rising is called the after-death phenomenon. Niu informs everyone that the man who entered is the professional he hired. The man No hired, Jug, examines the dead body. Shu believes that a female zombie, which absorbs yang energy to replenish itself, killed the person. Shu does not believe Jug, so he asks her to press her hand on the body's head. Shu's finger sinks into the victim's head since the zombie has already sucked out all of the victim's insides. She's so disgusted that she exits the room and tries not to vomit. At the same time, Xiao comes into the police station and is stopped by police officers. He demands to roam free to find his girlfriend, Shu. Shu sees Xiao and denies his claim that she is his girlfriend. Upon seeing Shu, Xiao tells her that he has made pork soup for her. Hearing him describe the food, she gets disgusted again and tries not to throw up. Xiao comes to her, believing he must have made her pregnant. However, Shu has had enough of the persistent Xiao and tells him that nothing happened between them. Nu sees Xiao and tells him to leave. Jug believes Xiao has no use for him, so he agrees to kick him out. At the restaurant that same night, the lady boss orders Xiao to deliver food, much to his frustration. Meanwhile, a middle-aged man is about to answer the doorbell of his apartment. He is frustrated at the disturbance, only to see that it is the beautiful woman with sunglasses. He lets the woman inside, and she shows him her beautiful blue eyes. The man takes a picture of the woman's face, but the second flash on the cell phone reveals the woman as a demonic figure, startling the man. While now suspicious, the man is still drawn to the woman and continues to let her flirt. Suddenly, Xiao rings the doorbell for food delivery. Not wanting the man to be distracted, the woman kisses him. She is about to suck out the man's yang energy, but Xiao is knocking so hard that the man is forced to answer the door and pay quickly. The man is about to close the door, but Xiao stops it, sensing a demonic presence inside. Xiao forces his way into the apartment as the man complains that he is intruding on his home. Xiao goes near the woman, sensing the demonic presence in her. Suddenly, the police barge into the apartment with Shu. The police immediately aim their guns at the woman, while Jug uses his device to reveal her true form. The woman turns into her zombie form and pushes Shu out of the way. The police shoot the zombie repeatedly, but all her wounds heal after a few seconds. Jug is about to use Taoist arts to cut off the zombie's yang energy, but he is punched unconscious by the zombie. The zombie overpowers multiple police officers. Xiao does not want to help until he realizes Shu is in danger. The zombie gets her claws on Shu's stomach, so Xiao uses his power to slice the zombie's arm off. Seeing that Xiao knows Taoist arts, the zombie becomes fearful and begs for mercy. She justifies that she only sucks out yang energy from evil perverts. However, Xiao is not in a forgiving mood after seeing Shu's bleeding stomach and believing he lost a baby. The zombie runs to the window to escape, leading Xiao to chase after her on top of multiple buildings. The zombie believes that he will not show his powers in a crowd. She falls off the building, planning to blend into the crowd below. However, it turns out Xiao has already attached a talisman to her nape, causing her to explode before she drops. The onlookers see the explosion and think it's just fireworks. Back at the police station, Niu agrees to keep Xiao's power secret, while Xiao agrees to keep quiet about the police's case. Xiao asks which hospital Shu went to, but Niu tells him to forget about her since her boyfriend Ari took her home. Xiao is shocked and disappointed that Shu has a boyfriend. A man named Chen is taking Shu home in his convertible. He stops in the middle of the road to tell Shu that she should stay with him so he can protect her. Xiao is stalking them from a distance, in pain at seeing Shu with another man. Chen tells Shu that he returned to police work for her. He regretted not wooing Shu when they were still studying at the academy. Now that he is back from the UK, Chen wants to make up for lost time and pursue her. Shu rejects his advances and gets out of the car. Chen holds Shu's hand to stop her from leaving, but Xiao grabs Chen's hand. Xiao demands that Chen stay away from Shu. However, Chen only laughs at Xiao, believing that Shu is out of his league. Xiao tries to punch Chen, but he quickly dodges and locks Xiao's hand. Xiao is frustrated since he cannot use his Taoist arts in front of many people. Observing their fight, Xiao claims that Shu was his girlfriend, but Shu again denies it in front of the crowd. Xiao swears that despite having no money or house, he will protect her no matter what. Chen gets angry, but Shu tells him not to resort to violence since he is a police officer. Reluctantly, Chen lets go of Xiao. This makes Xiao believe that Shu really does love him, even telling the crowd that they already had an intimate relationship. Xiao and Chen continue to fight until Jug arrives to stop them. Jug calms Chen down, even wiping his bleeding nose. Xiao watches in pain as Shu wipes Chen's nose. Xiao and Jug travel by car, and Jug tells him they are going to a feast. Suddenly, Xiao wakes up in a hotel room bed with a woman. The woman tells him that she is Kelly, the secretary of the estate tycoon, Zhang. Xiao remembers that last night, Jug brought him to drink with Zhang and many of his major employees, including Kelly. Zhang and the others encouraged him to go overboard with drinking. After a while, Kelly looked like Shu to Xiao. At present, Kelly tells Xiao that he should just imagine her as Shu since he keeps calling her name. As they are about to kiss, suddenly a man in a black suit takes a picture of them. Kelly also suddenly changes her demeanor, crying in terror that Xiao assaulted her. Xiao tries to defend himself, saying that she came on to him, but Kelly denies it. Xiao asks the man filming why they are framing him. The man tells him that he wants something. In a different area, construction workers toiling in the rain see a large wooden box at the dig site. While the others wonder what is inside, the foreman tells them to call the police to be done with it. However, One of his crew members suggests that there might be valuable treasure inside, grabbing the foreman's attention. They team up to try to open it. The foreman takes a peek inside but finds it too dark to see. He shines a light inside, revealing a white demonic fox that attacks them. The events are revealed to be a story by the man who framed Xiao. He reveals that the crew discovered 2 foxes, one red and one white. The red one got away, but the crew managed to kill the white one. In the wooden box, they also saw a large vase. The foreman tells the crew that the vase is worthless and runs off with it. However, the foreman secretly took the vase for an antique appraisal and discovered that it was indeed a treasure. After that, he gave it to Zhang. In return, the foreman got a promotion. With the money he received, he treated a woman to a fox fur scarf. They used the scarf while they made out on a couch. The fur tightened so much that the two started bleeding from their eyes and suffocated until they died. Not long after, many of the crew members who got involved with the vase also died from mysterious causes. Eventually, Zhang and his family also got involved. Xiao informs the man that it is the red fox that got away, taking its revenge. The man told the story because Zhang wants Xiao to investigate the matter and get rid of the curse. The man filmed Xiao with Kelly so that he would agree to split the reward money offered with him and Kelly. They go to Zhang's office, where Zhang gives Xiao a suitcase full of money as a down payment. Although tempted by the money, Xiao refuses to take it. He deduces that Zhang orchestrated the framing so that he would agree to the transaction. Considering that fact, Xiao demands more money for his service, to which Zhang agrees. The lady boss calls in the middle of the discussion, asking Xiao to pick her up at the market near her house. Xiao is so excited that he hits himself with the table as he and Zhang shake hands. At Zhang's mansion, a guard cannot hold his pee any longer. He ends up in a room with the found vase and peas on it. The vase then attaches itself to the guard's bottom. While the guard tries to get the vase off, another guard shows up with Xiao. The vase tells the humans that they have interrupted its peace and killed its grandfather, so it will take its revenge. Xiao asks the other guard to protect Zhang's daughter while he fights the fox demon inside the vase. Xiao takes a meditative stance, ready to make his move. As Xiao meditates, getting ready to attack the fox demon, he remembers when he was still a child. His father and mother always got into big arguments because his mother did not know that her husband was a Taoist priest. His mother believed that her husband was always out every night with women, not knowing that the man was hunting fox demons with seductive women's bodies. One day, Xiao's father goes on a journey to fight the fox demons again. Xiao begs his father not to go, worried for his life every time he does. Xiao pleads for help, but his father refuses, knowing that the fox demons are some of the toughest he has ever faced and will not allow his child to face them. Days pass until, finally, on the 49th day, the father returns, exhausted from fighting 108 fox demons. At present, Xiao is ready, knowing how strong his opponent is. The fox demon charges at him with great speed, but Xiao dodges every attack. He breaks the vase, but sees that the fox demon is not inside it. Meanwhile, Shu is at Chen's mansion. As she looks around in wonder at the grandeur of the mansion, Chen spikes a drug into the wine he plans to give her. He offers the wine to Shu, and she is about to drink it when she remembers that she is on duty. She drops the wine glass. Chen then hugs her, telling Shu that if she becomes his, all that he has will also be hers. However, she is not tempted by his advances. He forces Shu to lie on the couch, but she rejects him again, leading him to become aggressive. Shu slaps him for trying to violate her. Chen assures her that she is just misunderstood, but Shu still wants to leave the mansion. Chen begs her not to leave and asks for a chance. She shows sympathy and agrees. He asks for a kiss, and Shu reluctantly agrees. Before it can happen, Shu's phone rings. It is a message from the police, informing her of a situation. She wants to do her job and is ready to leave. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. Chen answers it and finds his girlfriend at the door. She greets him happily, but he tells her to wait outside. Relieved, Chen turns back, only to find that Shu has exited through the back door. At Zhang's mansion, the fox demon speeds through the mansion to the second floor, and Xiao follows. Xiao tries to kick the door where the fox entered, but the door is made of reinforced materials. He fails to kick it open and lies on the floor in pain. Zhang's daughter, Mei, opens the door, wearing only a towel, screaming, thinking Xiao is a molester. Xiao explains that he is trying to save her by finding the fox demon in the mansion. After hearing his words, Mei grabs him for more information. She tells him that she has been dreaming about the fox demon since it was released from its slumber, and it told her it would eat her. Xiao tells her to dress up first and waits outside. Mei is so scared that she does not want Xiao to leave the room. She asks him to turn around while she dresses. As Mei dresses, Xiao sees a mirror near him, allowing him to peek at her for a second. The fox demon appears through the mirror. Xiao warns Mei that the fox demon is in the room, forgetting she has no clothes on. Mei asks if what she is wearing looks nice on her. Suddenly, the lights flicker on and off, and Mei grabs onto Xiao. The lights switch off to darkness. Xiao tells Mei to stop holding on to him tightly, but she is already at a reasonable distance across the room. Xiao realizes that the thing holding onto him is the cursed vase stuck to his bottom. He lights up his fist with Taoist fire energy and tries to punch the vase. The vase removes itself at the last second, causing Xiao to punch his own family jewels. Xiao's fight with the vase continues until he sees Mei unconscious on the ground. He is about to perform CPR, but one of the guards rushes in to do it before he can. Mei wakes up, thinking Xiao kissed her, and she then kisses him. As they kiss, Xiao thinks of Shu and tells himself he is only kissing Mei to relax her. At the exact same time, Shu and Chen enter the room, looking at the two kissing. Shu is disgusted with Xiao's behavior, especially since he claimed to be in love with her. Xiao tries to explain, but Chen shields her away. As Chen rests at the closet door, satisfied with his mischief, he feels a presence in the closet. He sees the fox demon spirit inside and, instead of being scared, thinks it is a cosplayer. He drags the spirit out of the closet, and the spirit shoves him into the bed. Chen realizes it is an actual fox demon and begs for his life by bribing it with money. The fox demon is not deterred and charges at him. Before it can attack, Shu shoots it with her gun. The fox demon attacks, and Chen uses Shu's body as a human shield, causing her to get injured and fall to the floor. This enrages Xiao. The fox spirit is about to attack Xiao from behind, but Xiao makes the creature disappear with an energy punch. Chen witnesses Xiao's power and blames him for Shu's injury, claiming he could have done more. Xiao is so angry that he tries to punch Chen, but Shu stands up to protect Chen from the punch. She defends Chen, saying it was she who willfully protected him. She also tells Xiao to mind his own business, breaking his heart. Shu is taken away by an ambulance as Xiao talks to Nu about what happened. Nu asks about Xiao's relationship with Mei since they were caught together red-handed. Xiao tells him that they have just met, but Mei leans on Xiao, making Nu disbelieve him. It turns out Mei is unconscious, and Xiao believes she is being possessed by the fox demon. He places her unconscious body on her bed and tells everyone not to come into the room while he performs an exorcism. He goes into a meditative stance and begins chanting. Suddenly, Mei grabs him and puts him on his back on the bed. She says she was dreaming and that Xiao woke her up. She thinks she's falling for him and advises Xiao to forget about Shu and end up with a woman like her who loves him. Zhang walks into the room, angry that Xiao was taking advantage of his daughter. and lets his men take him away from the mansion. Xiao and Zhang walk the streets, disappointed that they did not make millions from the job. Xiao then remembers that he was supposed to pick up the lady boss from the market and rushes over to her. He rings her doorbell and the lady boss drags him in. Instead of the make-out session Zhou expected, the lady boss brings him to the house to treat her sickly old husband. Zhao tries to recover the husband's soul and spirits with his yang energy. The husband gets energized enough to speak. Zhao deduces that the husband has met evil spirits and asks what happened. The husband tells him that his old employer, Gao Shenkang, told him that his uncle discovered a water tunnel in the hills. The husband traveled to the hills to investigate, bringing local companions with him. They went into the underground tunnel, but the entrance was so narrow and long that they had to squeeze themselves in one by one. Upon entering, they saw that the room was a tomb full of corpses. They opened one of the coffins, but found no corpse inside. Suddenly, one companion's head gets itchy. He scratches it and finds his hair falling out. He lets the husband look at the back of his head, and shockingly, his head is full of eyes. The companion's body starts to ache, and eyes grow all over his body. Despite the man begging for help, the husband runs away. Eventually, the body explodes, and a creature made of eyes and blood emerges, telling the husband to stay with him. He then turns around to see that the entrance has been surrounded by Qing dynasty zombies. The husband manages to get to the surface and pulls his other companion down to divert the zombies. At present, the lady boss seduces Xiao. She says that with the old man about to be gone, his huge debts will disappear with him. She asks Xiao to consider being her man. As the lady boss is about to kiss him, Xiao's phone rings. The man on the other side of the line is Zhang, asking Xiao to come to the mansion. His daughter, Mei, has said she would take her own life if she fails to see him at the mansion. Zhang tells Xiao he will give him millions up front if he can convince Mei to give up her hunger strike, with the condition that he will not make any moves on her. Xiao enters Mei's room, and she is glad to see him. Xiao asks if she really loves him. Mei tells him to touch her heart if he does not believe her. Instead of her heart, he grabs her throat. Xiao realizes that the fox demon has possessed her. While he accuses Mei, another fox demon appears behind him and bites his shoulder. The fox demon is biting Xiao's shoulder, but he plans to exorcise it. He punches it with energy until it retreats to the vase. Mei asks Xiao to let her grandmother go. Zhang enters the room, worried about his daughter, not understanding what is happening. He tells Mei that he will accept the relationship between her and Xiao. The fox demon inside Mei comes out, revealing a beautiful red-haired woman with fox ears. The red fox and her grandmother beg to be let go. Xiao tells them that as long as they tell him where the real Mei is, he will let them go. When they comply, Zhang insults the demons, making the foxes remember all he has done and attack him. Xiao tells Zhang that since his company destroyed the foxes' grounds, he needs to build them a new place if he wants to live. Zhang agrees. The fox demons are satisfied with the terms and leave the mansion. Later, Zhang reveals to Xiao and Zhug that he actually has no money left to give, as his company is only relying on loans to get by. All he has left is his mansion. Xiao tells Zhang that instead of money, he wants the mansion and one of his apartment buildings, once it is completed. Meanwhile, Shu awakens at the hospital to see Officer Wei by her bedside. She learns that Chen had used her as a human shield against the fox spirits, but she cannot believe it. Chen suddenly appears and, enraged at having been slandered, throws Wei across the room before pouncing on Shu. He claims that she is his personal property now that she is his girlfriend. Overhearing him, Xiao promptly throws Chen across the room and begins stomping on his family jewels. Chen then tries to woo Shu back, flaunting his newfound wealth from Zhang's estate, but he gets a call regarding another zombie attack. Xiao arrives to find a deceased couple who appear to have had their very essence sucked out. Seeing the dead man show signs of life, a doctor immediately attends to him despite Xiao's warning. The dead man resurrects as a zombie, biting and killing one of the doctors. Xiao quickly exorcises the zombie, and the doctor is now convinced of Xiao's abilities. Meanwhile, a female zombie walks across the street and runs into an eccentric man named Andy. He approaches her, hoping to ask for money, but the irritated zombie insists on being left alone. Andy begins beating her up, but even as she reveals her zombie form, he continues to beat her to death. The male zombie soon arrives to support his comrade, and Andy beats him up too. But Andy is suddenly afraid when he sees the zombie's head turn around. He flees as the zombie gives chase, but Xiao arrives to his rescue. Minutes earlier, Xiao had used his 7 orders to locate the next zombie attack. He arrives to save Andy, forcing the zombie back. However, an officer arrives, having heard a cry for help. Inspecting the zombie and assuming that Xiao and Andy killed him, the officer places them under arrest. The zombie comes back to life, prompting Xiao to knock the officer unconscious to save him. He then instructs Andy to bring the officer to safety while he engages the zombie. Elsewhere, an unseen mystic arts practitioner activates a seal, and immense power begins to flow through the zombie. It transforms into a grotesque abomination, one which Xiao is unable to deal with through his normal means. He is forced to perform his 7 orders, breaking the seal between soul and ki, and summons a magical sword to exorcise the zombie's abomination form. Taking the zombie into custody, he and the police interrogate him regarding his master, whom the zombie names as Zhu. However, the zombie suddenly catches fire, and the officers are too late to put it out. Elsewhere, Zhu curses his zombie for attempting to betray him, and a sinister smile forms over his face. Xiao's spiritual energy is drained from using the second phase of his 7 orders, and he suddenly suffers its side effects. However, he sees a glimpse of blonde hair and is reminded of a time long ago, fantasizing about falling in love with a beautiful prince. When he snaps back to reality, it turns out he has thrown himself at Andy. Xiao angrily throws Andy across the wall before leaving. Outside, Xiao runs into Jug, who invites him out to another outing with wealthy socialites. However, he is spotted by Mei, an old childhood friend. Mei, seeking to take advantage of Xiao's newfound wealth, gets herself invited to the party. Once there, they meet Manager Ma and her daughter, Mary. Mei is annoyed at what she perceives as Mary trying to get with Xiao for his money, hypocritical as she was trying to do the same thing. Xiao gets a sudden call from Nu, warning him that Shu is in danger. Arriving at her apartment, she informs him that she saw the head of a man pop out of her window. Inspecting the windowsill, Xiao is struck by a brick. He turns to see a masked man on the roof and climbs the side to chase him down. Xiao beats the man mercilessly, and after a brief brawl, he is suddenly hooded and beaten. Xiao manages to break free and subdue his would-be captors. An officer arrives to apprehend them, and they learn that they were hired by Chen. They explain that they were sent to scare Shu. Later, Shu thanks Xiao for his help, but is somewhat perturbed at his persistent affection. However, once he leaves, Shu's apartment suffers a blackout. Investigating the power breaker, she is shocked by its outlet. Xiao reappears, having sensed something was amiss. He finds a ghost hiding underneath the sofa, but it ends up possessing Shu. He manages to punch it out, injuring Shu in the process. After exorcising it, he invites Shu to live with him at his apartment so he can better protect her. Xiao and Shu arrive at Xiao's new estate, but are shocked to see a party raging on. Xiao chases off the partygoers. Once inside, Xiao races to the bathroom to relieve himself, while Shu waits outside the door. He thanks her for trusting him to protect her, although Shu still has her hesitations. Suddenly, the two are simultaneously attacked by a ghost and a zombie, respectively, with the door between them locked shut. As Shu begins to panic, Xiao instructs her to hold on to the doorknob so he can channel his power through it, which knocks the zombie away. He then turns to face the ghost, who spews out a caustic liquid, damaging Xiao. He attempts to exorcise it, but the spell is stopped as the ghost chomps on his hand. Left with no choice, he uses another mystic art, blowing up the ghost. However, the liquid takes its toll, and Xiao senses he has been poisoned. He attempts to wash the caustic ooze away. Shu, once again chased by the zombie, barges in to find Xiao naked. She tries to escape with him, but slips on the tiled floor. The zombie then tries to attack her, but Xiao regains consciousness and knocks the zombie away, giving Shu a full view of his family jewels. The two later follow the zombie through the sewers, hoping to find Zhu's lair. When they emerge from a manhole, they come face to face with Zhu himself. Zhu asks Xiao to hand over the techniques of the 7 orders so that he can use it to promote Chinese culture, even floating the idea of calling UNESCO. When Xiao refuses, Zhu summons hordes of zombies to attack, forcing Xiao and Shu to fight back. To Xiao's horror, one of the zombies he kills is Mei herself. Zhu mocks Xiao, saying that he has lost. Years earlier, Xiao had been warned by his father not to use the 7 orders haphazardly. Xiao begins to fight half-heartedly, seeing visions of innocent people in the zombies he exorcises. Soon, they are overrun and overwhelmed by the massive hordes, and Xiao finds himself unable to fight back. As he leaps to defend Shu, he is slowly devoured and apologizes for not being able to protect her. Zhu performs the finishing blow, but to both sides' astonishment, the zombies begin falling one by one. The young fox spirit of the vase has arrived. The little fox begins slaughtering the zombies in droves, pushing Zhu into a corner. Even a massive zombie he summons barely slows her down as she goes in for the kill. The police suddenly arrive, and Zhu retreats for now, saying that he will come for Xiao soon. The little fox rushes to Xiao's aid and recognizes the poison deep within him. She takes him to help cure his poison while a worried Shu looks on. As they leave, Xiao awakens in the little fox's home, the poison already sucked out of his body. He asks if she knows of Zhu, and she replies that she has heard of his name in the stories of her grandmother. Once a disciple of Taoist arts, Zhu grew tired of the harsh life and retreated into the mountains, where he eventually dabbled in resurrecting the dead. Xiao laments that Zhu is accelerating the growth of his powers by killing innocents. Xiao has fully recovered from his injuries, and after thanking the little fox, tries to leave. However, a trap she had laid beforehand to prevent him from leaving activates. She apologizes but shares vital information. Using her powers, she has found the exact location of Zhu. He is currently maintaining the funds necessary to lease his property by selling certain products under a false name. However, Xiao soon faints from his injuries once more. As Xiao soaks in a bathtub, he is relieved to have a safe place to recuperate. The little fox enters with more of the disgusting soup, and Xiao sinks into the water. Shu goes on with her life as usual, but begins reminiscing and worrying about Xiao. When she arrives back at her apartment, she's surprised to see Xiao has returned, but is startled when the little fox is there as well. Xiao reassures her that the little fox is an ally. He hastily explains that they have located Zhu's hideout, and now is the best time to hunt him down. Shu and Xiao meet up and begin to investigate the suspicious building. They burst into the room, but find that it is merely an elderly get-together. Suddenly, Xiao senses something amiss and enters a strange room where they see a boy sleeping on the floor. The caretaker is puzzled and assumes that the boy is merely the grandson of the grandmother who had passed away recently. However, Xiao sees through the boy's disguise and begins choking him, to the shock of the various elderly. The boy suddenly stabs him and reveals himself as Zhu. He escapes through the window, but the little fox is there, lying in wait. Forced to reveal his true grotesque form, Xiao and the little fox engage the monstrous Zhu. The little fox and Xiao accidentally kiss, prompting Shu to angrily fire her gun at Zhu. After the little fox burns his roots, Xiao begins his 7 orders to exorcise Zhu. To his surprise, he hears Zhu say a soft apology to his master, as he is finally eliminated. Xiao begins to succumb to his wounds, while Shu and the little fox quarrel over where to bring him for treatment. The group somewhat celebrates their final victory over the necromancer. Meanwhile, a zombie is being used as a display piece at a local carnival. Its benefactors remark that they stand to make a fortune exploiting its body. As they place it back into a coffin, an ephemeral eye opens on top of the coffin. As the worker and boss turn in for the night, the boss chastises his worker for taking selfies while he is still working. The worker replies that he is being abused by working overtime. The boss retires into the truck, but a hand suddenly grabs him. The worker hears a scream and peers into the truck, staggering back when he sees a pool of blood. He takes another selfie as the zombie appears and begins chasing him. He runs into the nearby amusement park, where the zombie continues to chase him across all the rides. The worker keeps escaping every time. He finally makes his way back to the truck, where the zombie threatens to kill him if he does not drive him to a certain pair of individuals. The worker and the zombie are both on the road, with the zombie repeatedly beating him up for annoying him. They reach a checkpoint where the crossing guard is suspicious of the white sheet the zombie is hiding under. He opens the door and moves to investigate the sheet. The worker volunteers to move the sheet himself, where he boldly jumps and hugs the zombie, explaining to the guard that the zombie is his wife, suffering from a deadly disease that turned her hideous. The guard chastises him for attempting to abandon his wife and sends him on his way. The zombie later tries to inspect the worker's injuries, but he is brushed off. The zombie and the worker finally arrive in the city, and although their journey was tumultuous, the two have formed an unlikely friendship and are sad to see each other off. Meanwhile, Xiao has recovered from his injuries, and Mary invites him to stay at her house to recover, with everyone else guarding him. Although she is perturbed, she relents as her house is far too small to accommodate everyone. Shu and the little fox ask Xiao how Zhu was able to take the guise of a small child. He explains that Zhu was so close to immortality, having the power to transform his appearance. He warns them that there are many beings like that on the streets, secretly hiding monstrous appearances and intentions. Negative feelings they harbor may turn them to commit vile acts. Meanwhile, a man named Kevin talks to his girlfriend, Amy, over the phone, but she dismisses him, explaining she has to work overtime. Amy is called by her boss into his office. He tries to seduce her with the promise of a higher salary, and Amy playfully replies that she has a boyfriend who does not protest their intimacy. Suddenly, Kevin bursts into the room and takes photos of them, hatefully calling Amy a cheater. Chen tries to defuse the situation by offering Kevin some money, and the two negotiate terms. A broken and humiliated Amy staggers into the office, where a malevolent energy begins to swell into her. She enters Chen's office again, where she brutally murders both Kevin and Chen, fulfilling her vengeance. Meanwhile, Xiao parties with Mary at a club, where she tries to extract a kiss from him as a birthday gift. However, they are interrupted by Mei, the daughter of the once wealthy property tycoon, Zhao. She explains that her father was arrested for fraud, and all their assets and properties, including the ones Xiao has ownership of, have been seized. Zhao now has nothing, Mei calls over her client, a wealthy Korean heir, to intimidate Xiao, but Xiao, not in the mood, easily punches him away. Xiao returns to Mary's apartment, where both she and her mother intend to kick him out after learning that he no longer has any properties. Xiao senses they simply want him gone and readily accepts their decision, but curses them regardless. He enters an elevator to plan his next move, but is stunned to see his old boss and uncle, Huan. Xiao returns to Mary's home with his boss accompanying him and tries to extort money from Ma for the damages caused by her infidelity with her husband. Huan begins to beat both Ma and Mary, but Xiao and his boss leave, not wanting to be involved in a case of domestic abuse. Ma and Mary recover and consider going to a hospital, but Mary hears a noise in the other room. Upon investigating, she finds nothing, but she is attacked by the zombie. She tries fighting back, but is soon killed, and Mary escapes with her life. Meanwhile, Xiao and his boss are getting fresh air, but Xiao warns Mary not to anger her recently deceased husband for a week, as his spirit still wanders the earth. They hear the doorbell ring and find a distressed Mary, fearing for her life. She explains that a Qing dynasty zombie is chasing after her, which concerns Xiao deeply. That's it for today, fellow otakus. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more anime insights. Also, turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Got any thoughts or recommendations? Drop them in the comments below. See you in the next one. Stay awesome and keep loving anime.